Welcome to another video tutorial from 2dgameartguru.com. Today I'm working in Inkscape version 1.3 on outlines and outline shapes. For that I have a quick map I drew up as a transparent PNG. You can see the black outline and the circle behind it was visible. So it's just the black outline. I used the trace bitmap to turn it into a vector shape. I just have one pass. You can see I can color this pass any color I choose. It is just a filled shape. To make it more visible, let's change the background. Seeing this is a normal vector pass, I can give it a stroke along with the fill. You can see that the stroke will be displayed on the outside on both sides of my line with the amount of nodes plus the two lines, the inner and outer pass for each shape. It's near impossible to edit while keeping the outline consistent. Let's create a shape that is just one line. I duplicate the shape and use the break apart to separate the different paths that make up the shape. I can now just combine everything and get the outer shape, or I delete the outer elements of all my paths and create the inner shape. I combine this with a path union to again just have one path. When I place this shape inside the earlier vectorized path, you can see it's the perfect match of the filled shape inside. When I add a stroke to this shape, it will be placed on the center of this line. I can widen it, but it overlaps into the island shape. I can avoid that by adjusting the order to put the stroke behind the fill. Now I have a near perfect match of the initial outline using a stroke on just one line, which makes it a lot easier to edit. If I zoom in now, you can see there's just one node. I move that node, change the curve, the stroke will remain the same thickness. Achieving that with a double line is really hard. It becomes uneven very quickly. Even though this version is a lot more editable, has fewer nodes, is very close to the original, I'm still not happy because the stroke is twice the thickness it should be, and when I export that into one shape I have a really thick stroke, as you can see here. What I want is half the size of the stroke located in the right position. For that I need to scale up the island itself because we used the inner fill of the initial vectorized version. I use the path effect offset to widen my island. You can do that by increasing the offset value or using the node tool and moving the control node. And you can see I can adjust the offset. I want to place it somewhere in the center of the initial outline from my vectorized shape. Switching to outline view makes it easier to position the line exactly where I want it. The offset calculates a new vector shape, and you might notice some odd imperfections, loops, or node clusters. Turn the offset into a path and then check with the node tool, preferably in the outline mode, to see if this is still the case once you have created the new path. I now have the island in the right size for the stroke to be aligned to the center. It's fun playing around with the offset. I could make multiple copies in a lighter blue to create a shoreline with different depths around the island. Even though these shapes look very similar now, they do react quite differently when combined with other shapes. If I take the star and combine it with the vectorized outline version, the star takes on the fill of the outline. If I do the same thing, take the star and combine it with a path union with my outline version on the right, it is simply absorbed. There won't be any additional nodes because that area is already filled with the shape of the island. I can, however, use the star and cut it from the island shape by using the path difference. When I turn the stroke off and just have my fill shape, you can see the reason behind it. The outside stroke is not part of the fill. The outline view makes it quite clear there is a difference between the two, and here is the issue with the extra nodes I mentioned earlier. The offset can create node clusters. Usually it's easy to fix by selecting the excess nodes and simply deleting them. Alternatively, you can try the path simplify either in the path menu or via the path effects. Sometimes an even outline is not what you're after. The fill shape allows me to adjust that and add outlines that are not even. Before I do that, I start by simplifying the path. It can be done with the path simplify or the path effect simplify. Fewer nodes make it easier for the taper stroke or the power stroke to be adjusted. I use the power stroke. Once I assign that, I can add the width either in the panel or via the control point. Moving that with the node tool allows me to change the width. Pressing Control and clicking on the control point allows me to add additional control points and move them around. The width of the stroke is now changing from one point to the next. I can go from thicker to thinner. Keep the thickness by keeping two control points at the same distance from my shape. It allows for an easy way to adjust the outline, make it more flexible, and give it a more hand-drawn dynamic feel. Even though this is called a power stroke, the color is not set by the stroke paint, but by the fill. Changing that to a different color requires me to go into the fill panel. Let's introduce another style of line to the design and add a dashed stroke. I use the pen tool to draw a quick line and give it a stroke and set the stroke style to dashed. Here I can adjust the pattern either by choosing a pattern or choosing the pattern via the numbers. The first number is the line, the second number is the gap. Lastly, I add the taper stroke. Using a straight line with the pen tool, I assign the taper stroke path effect. Two control points define the way this line tapers towards the ends. Using the node tool, I can now adjust the nodes of the line as well as the control points and define how far the taper will run into the line. Just like the power stroke, the color is not defined by the stroke, but by the fill. If I want to combine all these elements into one path, for example, to cut or laser, I convert the elements to path first. I have two shapes for the island. Let's hide one. And then I can combine those into one path via the path union. This gives me one path with the same issues to edit later on. So when you do these things, save prior to have an editable version before you combine everything into one path and save that version as a separate file. I played around with the island a little bit more, used a few more tapered strokes. Basically, it is the trace bitmap, the power stroke, The dashed stroke and the tapered stroke I tried to briefly cover in this video. Play around with them. Knowing how the strokes work and what you can do with them makes life with Inkscape a lot easier. I have created a few more videos focusing on different aspects of strokes in Inkscape. You might want to check some of them out. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like, turn on the notification to make sure you don't miss the next video, and I will see you again soon.